Today I'm going to deal with security in another area, one where we all need it, but alas, we do not all achieve it. I'm going to speak about emotional security. Mental and emotional pressures are increasing in our contemporary lifestyle. I read an estimate recently that in their lifetime, 1 out of every 4 persons in our nation will need some kind of psychiatric help. That's a staggering figure. Most psychiatric hospitals today are filled to overflowing. When a person comes to the need of psychiatric help, that person has succumbed in some way to mental or emotional pressure. And for the people that actually recognize their need and seek psychiatric help, there are probably twice as many that don't recognize their need but have in some degree the same type of problem and are under the same type of pressure. Now the remedy against mental and emotional pressures is summed up in one word, the word peace. Peace not just in the sense of no war, but peace in the sense of fulfillment, completeness, and rest. Now there are some main enemies of peace, and I'm going to speak about 2 today, fear and worry. And each of them comes in many different disguises. Fear and worry, we can be afraid of sickness, we can be afraid of people's opinions, we can be afraid of a financial crash, or we can worry about the same kind of thing. Worry is a kind of little nagging worm that eats away. Fear is more like a dagger that's thrust into us, but each of them, in the end, is destructive. Now, God's main protection against fear and worry is trust. And I'm going to read you a passage from Isaiah chapter 26, verses 3 and 4, where the prophet Isaiah speaks about protection from fear and worry. These words are addressed to the Lord, and he says, "You will keep in perfect peace him whose mind is steadfast, because he trusts in you. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord is the rock eternal." Going back to the first verse, you will keep in perfect peace. That's complete protection against fear and worry. And then it speaks about the area where fear and worry attack, the mind. You will keep him in perfect peace whose mind is steadfast, settled. And the way to have a settled, steadfast mind is stated in the next line, because he trusts in you. And then comes this beautiful exhortation, trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord is the rock eternal. The Lord is repeated there. It's used twice for emphasis. The Lord, and only the Lord, is the rock eternal. You remember last week I spoke about the anchor that passes out of time into eternity and is fastened in the Lord, the rock of ages. Well, that's another picture of the eternal rock there. Trust in the Lord forever, for the Lord is the rock eternal. Now I want to explain to you quickly and briefly 2 steps to achieving trust. The first is you have to be renewed in the spirit of your mind. You see, our minds are ultimately directed, motivated, and controlled by spiritual forces. And so to enter into real trust, we have to have a different kind of spirit controlling our mind from that which controls the minds of the people of this world. Paul says in Ephesians 4:23, be renewed in the spirit of your mind. Let another spirit come in and take control of your mind and reprogram your thinking, redirect your thoughts, give you new objectives, new thought patterns. And then in 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, Paul contrasts the kind of spirit that operates in the people of the world and the kind of spirit that should be operating in a child of God. He says, God did not give us a spirit of timidity or cowardice or fear. That's the world. But a spirit of power, of love, and of self-discipline. That's the Holy Spirit. That's the Spirit that we have to invite to control our minds, the Spirit of power, of love, and of self-discipline. When that Spirit comes in, it excludes the spirit of timidity and fear.